Hey everyone, Matthew here, and today you're getting insider-level analysis on why the price of XRP isn't just poised to move, it's about to rocket. And yes, I mean rocket. Because when two major moves just dropped, one from Walmart, one from Evernorth, the landscape for XRP changed completely. If you've been waiting for a come-on-board moment, this is it. Stick around, because I'll break down what Walmart and Evernorth are doing, how this ties into the XRP ecosystem, what the institutional charts are screaming, and why now is your moment. Wondering if you should still be skeptical. Stay tuned. We'll dismantle the myth together. Ready? Let's dive. Evernorth, a newly backed crypto venture with support from Ripple, is preparing to list publicly and raise over $1 billion, with its domestic focus on building the largest publicly traded XRP treasury company. This isn't small potatoes. This is institutional capital walking in. Now pair that with Walmart's fintech move. Walmart's OnePay is integrating crypto services through a partner connected to Ripple's stablecoin, RLUSD, which strengthens the plumbing behind the XRP ledger ecosystem. These two signals, institution plus retail giant fintech, collide in one place, XRP. Imagine for a moment, you're in the small group of early movers who spot this window before it blows wide open. That's how big this could be. Let's break down exactly what's happening. First, Evernorth. When you see a company backed by Ripple, backed by serious money, listing to accumulate XRP, that means someone believes the asset itself has a strategic role. It's not just trading speculation, it's a treasury strategy. The message is clear. XRP is not just a token for retail hype. It's moving into institutional territory. And when institutional capital enters, the float dynamics shift, the narrative changes, the risk-reward calculus turns favorable. Remember, supply and demand are simple. If demand from institutions ramps up while supply remains tight, price moves. Plus the optics. A public company listing and building an XRP treasury sends mainstream investors a powerful message. We're taking this seriously. That creates FOMO. Second, Walmart's OnePay integration via Zero Hash linking to RLUSD. Why does that matter? Because fintech adoption is where crypto goes from geek toy to infrastructure. When everyday transactional platforms, used by millions, connect with blockchain technology running on XRP's ecosystem, you're talking about future-scale utility. It changes the conversation from "will XRP ever be used?" to "it is being used." This move may seem subtle, but it's exactly the kind of development that flies under the radar until it suddenly explodes into the mainstream. Here's where things get interesting. What if this isn't just about price going up? What if it's about XRP becoming a backbone asset for a new layer of global finance? Let's explore that. Originally, XRP's story centered around cross-border payments and banking. Great idea, but slow execution. Now we're seeing two fronts move at once: fintech adoption on the consumer side and institutional treasury accumulation on the corporate side. When those two fronts converge, we get exponential impact. Evernorth represents the institutional trunk. Walmart and OnePay represent the fintech canopy. Together, they form the full tree, rooted, strong, and ready to grow. And why is this different from past XRP hype? 3 reasons: regulatory clarity, institutional capital, and real-world utility. Combine those 3 and you have the recipe for a genuine breakout. Regulatory clarity has improved massively. For years, XRP was under the cloud of uncertainty. That overhead suppressed value. But now, as major firms publicly align with XRP-related ventures, it's clear the storm is fading. When risk drops, valuations expand. Next, institutional capital. Evernorth's billion-dollar plan isn't about speculation. It's about long-term exposure. When large institutions start to view XRP as part of their treasury or liquidity holdings, it's a signal that confidence is returning. That's when the perception shifts from crypto gamble to strategic asset. And then there's utility. Walmart's fintech arm integrating blockchain rails brings XRP one step closer to everyday use. global remittance, micropayments, supply chain transparency, instant settlements. When utility grows, price growth eventually follows. Now ask yourself, if you were a hedge fund or a multinational corporation managing billions, would you want exposure to an asset that's building financial infrastructure, or would you sit it out? The smartest money in the room is already making that call, and it's leaning toward exposure. Here's a thought. What if XRP 5Xs from here? And that's before the institutions even finish positioning. Picture this scenario. Evernorth finalizes its listing and begins accumulating XRP aggressively. Walmart expands its crypto services to millions of users worldwide. Headlines explode. Major retailer and public company both using Ripple ecosystem. Institutional investors take notice. Momentum builds. Then comes the next wave. ETF rumors, financial media coverage, and price action that wakes up retail investors. Suddenly, XRP is everywhere again. The sequence is simple. Institutional trigger, fintech validation, media amplification, retail FOMO. That's how explosive runs begin. Now let's address the common myths, because this is where most people get it wrong. Myth 1, XRP is dead. Reality, it's evolving. The narrative has shifted from crypto speculation to infrastructure utility. Myth 2, retail hype is gone. Reality, this time the move isn't driven by hype, it's driven by fundamentals and real adoption. Hype follows fundamentals, not the other way around. Myth 3, the supply is too large. Reality, supply matters, yes, but demand shocks move markets faster than supply caps do. Bitcoin's supply is fixed, but XRP's liquidity utility can create constant demand pressure that offsets supply size. Myth 4, it's too late. Reality, we're early. The majority of the world still hasn't realized how deeply Ripple tech is integrating into fintech infrastructure. Being early is uncomfortable, but profitable. If you're doubting all of this right now, I understand. Maybe you've held XRP for years and watched it stall. Maybe you've lost trust in the space. But this is different. This is real-world infrastructure meeting institutional capital, a combination we haven't seen before. And here's my bold prediction. Based on the current alignment of factors, XRP could easily 5 times or more within the next 12 to 18 months. If institutional allocation accelerates and retail fintech adoption continues, that number could even go higher. And if the next crypto bull cycle takes hold, XRP could outperform most traditional assets. Timing and awareness are everything. This is not about guessing. It's about observing signals that most people ignore. Those who recognize them early win big. So let's recap. Walmart's fintech expansion is plugging directly into Ripple's stablecoin framework. Evernorth is entering as a billion-dollar institutional player focused on XRP, and regulatory clarity is paving the way for mass adoption. The infrastructure, the capital, and the narrative are all aligning. Now, if you're serious about understanding where this goes next, watch these key catalysts. The Evernorth listing announcement, Walmart's official OnePay crypto rollout, and potential Ripple partnerships surfacing in mainstream financial media. When those line up, you'll know the ignition phase has begun. This is the kind of moment you'll look back on and say, I saw it before it happened. The XRP community has been patient, loyal, and often underestimated, but that patience may soon be rewarded. If this video gave you clarity, smash that like button, comment your XRP price target, and subscribe for more insider-level updates. Share this video with your fellow XRP holders and help spread the word. Because the more awareness we create, the stronger our community becomes. Stay sharp, stay early, and as always, stay ready. The XRP value unlock has already begun, and this time, it's powered by giants.